Welcome to Crosswords. This is a podcast about practical Christianity. Christians live in a culture hostile to righteousness, self-control, and God's judgment to come. This podcast is about getting your mind and your heart in line with Jesus' words and way, because He is the way, the truth, and the life. All scriptures quoted are from the New International Version. You can follow me on Twitter at kingdom_saint. Walk with the Lord and be a blessing. Transparency promotes accountability. 7 minutes of wisdom on preparing kids for adulting. Matthew 5:33-37 reads, "Again, you have heard that it was said to the people long ago, 'Do not break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you have made.' But I tell you, do not swear on oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by the earth, for it is His footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of a great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot even make one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one." It sounds simple, doesn't it? No need to swear, make oaths or promises. I swear to you by my parents, I swear to you on the Holy Bible, if you don't clean your room, I'm going to cut off the internet for a week. Or whatever other entity or action you want to call into your oath to make it seem more worthwhile, intimidating, or accurate to the other person. Is it all really needed? Our fickle passions is what makes these things more complicated than what they are. When the human heart is involved, there is deceit and manipulation and the whiff of any other sinful sickness. Ever since our kids are young enough to understand no and yes, the battle begins, with us trying to help them understand the meaning of these simple words. Did he really mean no? Is the usual suspicion coming from their little hearts? And the manipulative tendencies of the flesh sets them on a course to test your sincerity and determination. They don't insidiously plan this. This is the sinful human nature, to disobey, to rebel. Don't take it personally. Rise up to the challenge. We need to be taught to obey. If they don't learn to sincerely obey, they will default to manipulate, and they will wear you down. Unless you teach them to respect the authority behind a no or a yes, you've opened Pandora's box and have set yourself on a more difficult path than you can imagine, tough to shake off. Learning when and how to say yes and no, and to understand and respect someone else's use of it, is at the heart of accountability. How did we teach them to respect no and trust yes? Well, by modeling the use of these words in our life, keeping our promises, choosing our words carefully without having to add hyperbole, threats, or oaths. As Jesus said, letting our yes be yes and our no be no. We also persevered in not manipulating our children when they said yes and no, and we might not have agreed with them, helping them instead to find a yes or a no within the acceptable choices and options God gave us. Teaching accountability is about giving them choices. If our response to them is always no, you can't do this, no to that, no to this, because we don't like what they're doing, or asking, or maybe we're always saying yes to them, yes, because we feel sorry for them, or we want to build their self-esteem, well, we could be sowing bitterness in their heart in the case of too many no's, or enabling a false confidence in them by too many yeses. In both cases, the meaning of yes and no gets diluted from lack of contrast. It's best to say, I understand, I hear your request, and these are the choices you have. Pick which one you would like. This promotes accountability by teaching them adaptability and learning to be in agreement with others. Learning to come to consensus with others will be an important skill in their adulthood. They need to learn to work together with people who will disagree with them. Children who don't learn to be adaptable to things they don't like or agree with become self-absorbed and arrogant adults. I'm sure you work with one somewhere. They are neither happy nor fulfilled. Teaching them to make choices out of available options empowers them to be flexible and adaptable, which involves denying the flesh. Empowered children learn to be accountable and hold others accountable as well. Accountability is all about trust, and transparency promotes trust. Trust leads to people who are loyal. Loyalty is about first knowing who I am, what I want, and feeling comfortable enough with what someone else can give in order to have consensus and make commitments within agreed parameters. This is at the core of developing healthy relationships. If trust is lacking, there's no accountability. No accountability, no trust, no transparency, no commitments. How will you teach your children to simply say yes or no? Thank you very much for listening. I hope the Lord gave you insight into conforming to Jesus with today's message. I always appreciate feedback. You can send me your thoughts, musings, and comments directly through the Anchor app. You can also contact me on Twitter at kingdom_saint. Walk with the Lord today and be a blessing.